All right, let's dive right in. We're talking about the huge news out of Venezuela, the U.S. military intervention. This was a sudden, high-stakes move, and believe me, the consequences are already starting to ripple across the globe.
So President Maduro has been captured, and you can feel the tension. The whole world is on high alert. But here's the big question, right? Is this going to be a total disaster, a slide into global chaos? Or is this actually a rare, maybe even critical chance for a new beginning? And that's really the heart of what we're going to break down.
And to really get a handle on this, we're going to look at it like a debate. Think of it this way. In one corner, you've got the skeptical risk expert. Their whole world is about stability, preventing things from blowing up. And in the other corner, you have the optimist, who's looking at this and seeing a massive opportunity for real transformative change. Let's see how these two views clash. Okay, so first things first. We need to set the stage. How did we even get here? How did this crisis unfold so quickly?
So, it all kicked off in January 2026. The U.S. launches Operation Absolute Resolve, and boom, they capture President Maduro. It was fast, it was decisive, and it immediately created this huge power vacuum. And the U.S. isn't being shy about it. They've made it super clear they're going to push for change with an oil blockade and, get this, basically run the country for now.
All right, let's put on our risk analyst hat. From that point of view, this isn't a solution at all. No way. This is a geopolitical powder keg just sitting there waiting for a spark. So let's dig into why they're so worried.
Okay, so for a risk analyst, this is pretty much a nightmare scenario. They use these frameworks, like this tea pastry one you see here, to analyze all the angles, political, economic, social, you name it. And the picture it paints, it's alarming. The political risk is labeled critical. I mean, that's as bad as it gets. It's a full-blown sovereignty crisis. But look at how it spills over. You've got high risk to the global economy because of the oil markets, high risk to trust and international law. It's like this one move just slammed a bunch of different emergency buttons all at once.
And what's happening on the ground right now, it's exactly what keeps risk analysts up at night. Pure instability. You've got Maduro sitting in a jail in Brooklyn. His vice president, Delcy Rodriguez, is trying to step in as the interim leader, but she's already getting direct warnings from the White House. It's just a super tense, totally unpredictable standoff. Nobody knows what happens next.
But, okay, let's flip the script, where that skeptic sees nothing but danger. Our optimist is looking at the exact same situation and seeing something completely different. They see a rare, maybe even a once-in-a-generation chance for real, honest-to-goodness transformation. And this right here is the core of the debate. Is this whole thing just a reckless move that's about to set an entire region on fire, or is it the tough, painful medicine that was absolutely necessary to finally kickstart a democratic transition?
You really see this clash when you look at the economics of it. On the one hand, the skeptic is looking at the U.S. seizing oil reserves and is screaming, this is going to cause chaos in the global energy markets. But on the other hand, the optimist sees a path to finally rebuilding a totally collapsed economy. They're arguing, hey, this could finally unlock all those vast resources for the people who actually live there.
And you know, that feeling of opportunity, it's not just theoretical, it's real. You talk to Venezuelan Americans, people who have just been watching in agony as their home country suffered for years. For them, this moment, yeah, it's scary, it's uncertain, but for the first time in a long, long time, it's a glimmer of real hope.
Now, this next point from our optimist is, well, it's a bit more poetic, but stick with me. They point to stories like this one about someone planting sunflowers where their home burned down in a wildfire. The idea is that even from total destruction, from the ashes, something new and beautiful and hopeful can be planted. It's a powerful metaphor for sure. But here's the billion-dollar question, right? Does that kind of natural resilience actually apply to the cold, hard, calculated world of geopolitics? That's a tough one.
Okay, let's swing back to our skeptic now, because their big argument is that this whole Venezuela situation isn't happening in a vacuum. Not at all. It's just one piece of a much bigger and, frankly, much more dangerous global pattern.
The number one word here is contagion. The fear is that one country's actions can spread like a virus. By taking this kind of aggressive, go-it-alone action, the U.S. sets a really dangerous precedent. Think about it. If the U.S. can do this, what's to stop Russia or China or any other major power from feeling like, hey, we can do that too? It's the classic domino effect, and it's got analysts really worried.
And when you zoom out and look at the big picture, the skeptic's case gets a lot stronger. I mean, the world is already pretty fragile, right? You've got renewed tensions between the US and Denmark over Greenland, of all things. North Korea is still testing hypersonic missiles. The UK's economy is shaky with these zombie firms about to collapse. There's massive unrest in Iran. Someone's sabotaging the power grid in Berlin. The point is, this Venezuela thing didn't happen in a calm, stable world. It happened in a world that was already on edge.
So, okay, that's a lot. How do you even begin to make sense of all this? Well, the goal here isn't for me to tell you who's right, the skeptic or the optimist. Instead, I want to give you a simple tool, a framework, so you can start to think like an analyst yourself.
It's a really simple three-step process. First step, what if? Just ask what could happen next. Like, what if this Venezuela crisis spreads to its neighbors? Simple enough. Step 2, so what? Okay, if that happens, what are the actual consequences? What does it mean? Well, it can mean oil prices go crazy, or the whole region becomes unstable. And finally, step 3, now what? Based on those consequences, what should be done? Maybe it's watching diplomatic talks closely or getting ready for those market shifts. What if, so what, and now what? It's a great way to cut through all the noise.
And all of this really brings us to the final, ultimate question, doesn't it? In a world like ours, where everything feels so interconnected and unstable, what's the real risk? Is it taking a big, bold, disruptive action that might just blow up in our faces? Or is the greater risk doing nothing at all, just letting a terrible situation get worse and worse, indefinitely? That's the impossible choice that leaders, and really all of us, are facing right now.